Okay, so now let's start to practice our programming skills. So we are about to create a registration form. So yung registration form po natin, it just require few input from us, which is the name, email, username, and password. And then we also have a link here that will redirect to the login form once meron na tayong account. Okay, so once we click yung login, basically mapupunta siya sa login form, which requires yung username and password. Okay, so going back to the registration form, so dito, once we register, yung data po natin is masisave lang muna sa session. Okay, kasi wala pa tayo sa part ng database or for the permanent storage or even sa file. Wala pa tayo sa part na yon. So since ito pa lang yung alam natin for now, is isi-save lang muna natin for temporary yung mga account sa isang session. Okay po? Para we can utilize of course also yung login functionality natin. Okay? So once we successfully log in, kinakailangan mapupunta siya sa page na to. Yung sabihin nating welcome page niya po. Okay? And then of course yung logout, it should be functional. Mamaya ipapakita ko paano gawin yan. And there's of course a reminder lang po that the user should not see this page, okay, unless he or she is logged in. Okay? Kasi this is only intended for those logged-in user. Sabi pa nga, for security purpose. Okay po? So that will be our activity for today. So let's try to use our programming skills para ma-accomplish po yung task natin ngayon. Okay? Okay, so now let's start creating our registration form. Of course, every time we are trying to develop a web application or even just a simple program, of course, we need to make sure na naka-start po yung Apache web server natin. Okay, so once okay na po, we can now close this one. And let's try to go to our folder kung saan naka-install yung project natin, which is a SAMP, htdocs, learning PHP. So this is already practice number 5. Okay, so now let me open that one in my text editor. So file, open folder, hanapin ko lang sa C, SAMP, htdocs, and then learning PHP, then the practice number 5. Okay. Ngayon, I'm going to create a new file. And then, gawa tayo ng basic HTML dito. Save ko muna by the way. Let me save this first. And I'm going to save this as index.php. Then, gawa na ako ng HTML. Yan. Learning PHP. I-zoom ko lang po ng bahagya kasi maliit masyado. Okay. Palakihin ko pa ng bahagya. Yan. So, next is gagawa ko ng yung title part, which is registration form. Yan. And then, gawa ko ng form. So action, I just leave it empty. Then method, of course, I use post. Then dito, gagawa ko ng div for my name input. By the way, guys, we are not going to have the form validation yet in this particular activity. But of course, in your future na mga project or web application, make sure that you also implement form validation for security purpose of your program. Okay? Then email. So email din yung pangalan. Then we also have the username and password. So username dito. Then another one is password. And for the password, I'm also going to use the password field para yung hindi visible yung characters every time we input. And the last one, I need to put yung input type submit. And I use yung name na etn submit. Then the value that will serve as the label of nating save. Okay, and save natin yan. Let's try to check this one in our browser. So we're going to type localhost / learning PHP, of course yung 5. Yan, we have the registration form. So sa baba, maglagay muna ako ng additional HR, parcel line, and then we're about to put some links. Ito. So, natin if you already have an account, you may, let's say, log in now. Yeah. So yung login part, I want it to be a link. Okay. So yung link ko, I will refer it later on na lang kasi wala pa akong login page. Okay. And then, of course, tingnan muna natin. Try to see the output. Okay, so wala pa siyang link dito. So I want to fix the design of this one para at least maging align yung mga input natin. A text box. So going to use the style. Then I want to have the div. So let me specify yung margin bottom niya. So 5 pixels. Then the div span for the label part. Although we can use the label tags, but for now, let's make it simple lang muna. Span width of 90 pixels. Then naka-float left siya. Yan. Try natin. Yan. So kahit pa paano, naging align na yung mga text box natin. So the second thing na gagawin natin, of course, we need to create a login page. So gawa muna tayo ng login page. So let me try to right click this one. Right click, new file. Save ko lang po as login.php. Okay. And let me just copy this one para maging madali. Baguhin ko na lang yung ibang text. Login form. Then let me remove some of the text here. Then gawin ko tong login. Yan. Then let's try this one. Let's try to access this in our browser. So login.php. Yan. So papalitan ko to, it should be register. So by the way, ito, kopyahin ko muna. Ilagay ko sa registration form. Ito. Yan. Okay. So ngayon, let me go back to the login part. Then, gawa tayo ng text here message. You don't have an account yet. You may. Ito, of course, you register now. Okay, so yung link naman dito, of course, it should be yung homepage. So, back ko lang ng bagya. Yan ko lang to. We can specify yung login or mismo yung yung register that yung index.php or just yung root directory, yung pinaka homepage niya, pinaka domain. So once we have that, let's try that one if it works. Refresh ko lang po. Let's try to click login form. Let's try to click this one. Yan, it works na. So gawa naman tayo ng welcome page. Okay? Kasi once mag-successful na sa pag-login, mapupunta po siya sa welcome page. So for now, just a simple message of welcome lang muna yung ilalagay natin. Welcome page. Then let me just try to remove some code here, given the style. Then isasave ko lang po to as welcome.php. So, hindi naman siya required na welcome.php yung file name. But for simplicity, I just name it something like that. So let's try to access this one. So lagyan natin welcome.php. So yun. So working naman po yung welcome.php natin. So, balik lang po ako ng bahagya. Sa register tayo. So we have the necessary files na kinakailangan na po natin for us to set up yung functionality ng system natin. Yung mga pages na required. Now let's move to the part, of course, ng registration, which is the index part. So before we start yung pag-check ng submission ng form, of course, we need to start first yung session. Otherwise, hindi natin magagamit yung session if we're not going to do that. Then next is, we are going to check if nasubmit ba yung form or what specific request method yung ginamit pala. Request method, then yung post. Yan. Then dito, I want also to check if nasubmit ba talaga yung button, which is the btn submit. If it is, therefore, na-click yung button submit. And ngayon, I want to retrieve yung mga post value natin. Name, underscore, post, then yung full name. Then, ngayon ko lang ng ganun. Then, of course, yung mail. Then, the other one is yung surname. And then, of course, yung password. Then, the next is, once na-retrieve ko na yung data, then isi-save natin supposedly sa isang storage, such as database or a file. But just like I said, since wala pa tayo sa topic na yan, sa session lang muna natin isi-save. So we're going to utilize yung session. So gagawa lang ako ng key. Let's say temp storage accounts. And then on that part of array, or session array, I'm going to add item using the square bracket. And then yung ilalagay ko ay isang associative array. And then ilalagay ko po yung mga value dito. So for the name, same key na lang po yung gagamitin ko. Then equal, greater than, comma, and then for the email, greater than, comma, for the username, then of course yung password. Yan. So yung password, by the way guys, if we type for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ito po yung ma-retrieve natin. But since this is an account, I want to implement some basic encryption na kailangan naka-hash or naka-encrypt po yung password natin. So let's just utilize yung MD5 na function of basic hash function in PHP. For the sake na maging encrypted po yung password natin. The parameter lang naman na kinakailangan, of course, the value that we want to encrypt or to be encrypted. Okay? So, yun po yung masisave sa ating record. So, mamaya ipapakita ko kung ano yung maging itsura niya. So, the next thing, of course, once na-submit na siya, gusto ko siyang i-redirect. Okay? Pabalik sa registration pa rin. So, of course, gagamitin natin yung header function. Then, dito, ilalagay natin yung URL. So, let me just go back to dito. Let me just copy this one para maging madali. So, location, then the URL. I want to include yung text.php. Later on, may papakita kong bakit. Then, exit yung redirection. Now, let's try to save this and let's try to test yung program. Refresh ko lang muna. Maglagay ako ng value. Sabihin natin Raymond. Email is raymond@gmail.com. Username is Raymond na lang. Then password is 123456. Then save. Yun. So as you can see, na-redirect siya dito sa index. Pero may mapapansin pa tayo, bakit walang notification? So gusto kong maglagay ng notification na it was successfully saved. Okay? So yung gagawin ko lang po, doon sa redirection part, pwede akong maglagay ng question mark and then yung key equals or success key equals to 1. Yung success dito, this is user defined. Actually guys, if we do something like this, we are already implementing yung get method. If you can still remember yung topic natin sa PHP forms, we have two method, yung get at saka yung post. Yung get, once the form is submitted, it will be displayed in the URL, which is in this kind of format. If there are maraming item yung ilalagay natin dyan, we can just separate it with a and sign. Okay? But since isa lang yung item nilalagay ko, ganun lang po. Basta may question mark na ilalagay muna dito. Okay? So in that way, if we do that, it is retrievable dito sa baba. Pwede nating ilagay siya dito, yung message na gusto natin. So sabihin natin if set yung get success, tapos and get is equals to 1, then gusto kong mag-display ng success message. Sabihin natin, lagay ko lang sa isang paragraph tag. Let's say, your registration has been successfully submitted. Yan. So, let's try. Punta tayo dito. Refresh natin. Input tayo ng ibang item. Mail.com. Username, sabihin Job. Joban na lang. And then, password is 12345. And then, once we save this one, yun po, success po yung nakalagay dito. And nakakapag-display na po tayo ng notification that the data has been successfully saved. Okay, so let's try another data. Save pa tayo. Mail. Again, and password is save. Okay. Isa pa is .com. And username is Jude, and then the password sabihin natin Jude rin. Save. Yan. So, paano natin malalaman kung nakasave ba talaga? Kasi, naka-session naman siya. Pero how can we tell kung ano yung mga data nandoon? So, we can use yung printr. If we can still remember yung printr, we can take advantage of that one. So, since I'm sure na may data na po, so I want to use yung printr just to display the result. For the meantime, gusto ko lang makita kung na-insert ba talaga sa session yung mga data na in-input natin. So, I'm going to access this temp storage account kasi ito yung session na nagdadala ng mga records. Okay, then set tayo ng true para ma-return lang yung results. And if we're going to go back to the page and refresh lang po natin, so yan. So yan na po yung mga data kanina na in-input natin. If you can notice, yung mga password natin is in an encrypted format na po. Hash na po siya. Random numbers and characters na po. Hindi po yung in-input natin kanina. Okay? So, we cannot easily identify na kung ano ba yung password na na-input natin kanina. But of course, as a user, we should know yung personal password po natin. Okay? So, now we are sure na nakasave na po sa session yung record natin. Okay po. So, i-comment ko lang muna to. And then, yung gagawin natin ngayon is we're going to jump to the login form naman. So, ito naman yung gagawin natin ng functionality. So, let's go to our code. Okay, so now let's try to copy this code para maging madali yung coding natin. Then let's go to login page natin. Okay, so dito, babawas-bawasan lang natin yung mga code. So, submit button ba rin ba yung ginamit ko dito? Yes. So, tanggalin ko lang yung full name at saka yung email. Then, yung redirection, for now, I need to comment this one. Yung session din, comment ko lang muna. Okay, so once we have the data coming from the form, first is, I want to check if ever may laman ba or nakaset ba yung session na to. Kasi baka hindi natin na-save or wala pang data sa kanya. Then not empty ba? So if not empty, then that's the only time na ipaprocess ko po yung pag-check if the username and password truly exists in our session data. So gagamitan ko po siya ng for each to loop it out. First, yung row. So dito, I want to grab first the name, which is accessible sa row having the name key. And then dito, I'm going to compare yung row username. Equal ba siya sa username ng input? And yung password. Equal ba rin siya sa password ng input? Yung naka-encrypt na. If there are both true, equal na sila, then therefore, yung user is na-exist. Now, I'm going to set another session to have a reference of the currently logged in user. So I'm going to set its name as account profile. And then dito, I'm going to set an associative array containing yung sa user po natin. So dito, mayroong array natin is login, which is equals to true. Just a reference lang po. And then, of course, lalagay tayo din ng pangalan dito. So, kukunin natin yung pangalan dito. Okay? And then, since nahanap na po natin yung user, of course, we need to stop the loop. Paano ba yung pag-stop ng loop? Of course, we are going to use the break statement. Oh, so another one is I want to set a variable to check if na-exist ba yung account o hindi. So dito, magdi-declare po ako ng variable na is account exist. And then, by default, I'm going to set it as false. Kasi once mahanap po natin yung account or na-exist yung account, then that's the time na iseset ko po siya as true. So, baba tayo. So, dito, gagawa na naman tayo ng if statement. Checking if yung account nag-exist ba talaga. So, if the account is equals to true, account exists equals to true, therefore, upon login, nahanap po natin yung record niya. So, ibig sabihin, I am going to redirect that particular user to the welcome page. Okay? Pero, if ever po, hindi po siya na-exist, then ilalagay natin siya sa else part, then i-redirect siya pabalik sa login page, then we can set an error message of, sabihin natin, unknown account or unknown username and password. Okay? So, okay na yung ganito. Pupunta naman tayo dito sa inform part, maglalagay na tayo ng message. So, if ever, if nakaset yung get error, so saan to nanggaling na error, galing siya dito. Okay, if nakaset yung error and it is equals to 1, Therefore, I'm going to display a message saying that unknown username or password. Yan. So, try po natin kung ano nangyayari. Baka mayroong mga error. So, nagkaroon nga ng error. So, log in. So, parse error, syntax error, unexpected, semicolon, expecting yung closing parenthesis. Then, sa line 27. So, hanapin natin yung error na yan. So, line 27 sa login file, line 27, ito. So, yun. So, based dito, since nandito yung, kasi dapat, hindi siya semicolon. Kasi nasa loob po ako ng array. It should be, wala ng comma o di kaya meron. Yung comma, if ever meron pang susunod na item. Although, hindi naman siya mag-error kung comma yung ilagay ko, but since wala namang susunod na item, I can delete that one na lang po. Okay, and save natin yan. And then, let's go back to the page and refresh. Yan. So, let me try to log in first yung maling username at saka password. Try natin. Yun, may error key tayo dito. And then, unknown username and password. Kung tama naman, then sabihin natin yung Raymond, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yun. It redirected to the welcome page. Okay? So, in the part of the welcome page, of course, I need to work yung pag-display na ng result. So, dito, let's try to grab, first, of course, we need to start the session. Otherwise, if we try to grab yung session variable without starting the session start, then magkukos po ng error. So, let's start it first. Okay? So, dito, gagawa tayo. Kunin ko lang yung ito. I just want to get this one. So, itetest natin dito. Gagawa tayo ng table. So, if set yung variable na yan and not empty siya, then ilulup po natin yung mga data. Okay? Okay, so before we continue, I would like to set up a table first. So table, the head will be the heading part of the table. TR, then I would like to have the TH. So the TH will be yung mga column, the heading. So let's start the name. Then email, username, and of course yung password. Then afterwards noon, of course, I would like to have also the body part. Copy ko lang to para maging madali. Body. Then palitan ko lang yung ito ng TD, which is the table data. So yung for each po natin, yung data po natin, of course, nasa loob ng tbody. So ilagay ko lang muna dito yung sa reference. Delete ko. So lalagay po natin siya sa loob ng for loop. Yan. And afterwards nun, yung row, meron po tayong reference to its name. So, echo natin yung row, square bracket, yung key is the name. Then, copy ko na lang to. For the email, it is of course email. For the username, also username. And for the password, it is a password. Yan. So let's try this one kung ano yung magiging result. So yun. So kaso wala pa siyang mga bar. So let's try to do that in the style. Since if it talks about yung mga colors, yung mga borders, and anything that's something talks about design, it talks about the CSS part. So mayroon tayong table, then yung th, then table, td, border, 1 pixel solid, and yung block 000, it is block. So refresh, yan. Okay, so sabihin natin lagyan natin ng padding kahit pa paano. Padding of top and bottom is 5 pixels and about 7 pixels sa left and right. Yun. Now, I want it to be full width. Just gusto ko lang i-full width yung table. Percent, and I want the body to be about 90% yung width niya. And naka-margin 0 auto para mag-center po siya. Refresh. Yan. Okay. So, paano to yung mayroong parang allowance? If you want to remove that one, all we need to do is pupunta tayo sa table na part and border collapse po yan and i-collapse lang po natin. If you do that, mawawala po yung parang spacing na yan. Yan. Okay. So, now we can already list the page and let's try to make some logout functionality. So, sabihin natin, wait. We also need to display the name pala. Ito, para malaman natin kung sino ba yung currently logged in. So, meron tayong reference for our session, yung account profile. Session, name, account profile, and then yung name. Yan. So, try muna natin. Welcome, Raymond. Yan. Okay. So, the next is to set up yung logout. So, sabihin ko na lang, ilagay ko rin dito. I will just make an anchor tag here. Then, yung logout, of course, pupunta dapat siya sa file na logout. So, gawa muna tayo ng file. Yung file, save natin to as logout.php. Okay. And then, of course, we are going to start with the PHP opening tag. So, if ever lahat po ng code dito is about PHP, there's no need for us to close it up. Ginagawa lang po yung pag-close if ever we are trying to integrate the PHP to some HTML codes. So for now, let's start muna the session. Okay. So in making some logout, usually yung ginagamit natin is yung session destroy, just like I mentioned kanina. But since it will destroy entirely yung session, hindi lang muna to yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Yung gagamitin lang po muna natin is yung unset kasi we just want to remove the specific data, particularly yung account profile para hindi na po siya login. So comment ko lang muna to. I-check ko lang if set yung session account profile, then I am going to unset that one. Yan. Once na-unset na po natin, we are going to redirect that one back to registration page. Location. So let me just go to i-back ko lang muna. So babalik siya dito. So let me just go to the code once again and paste it there. And then, of course, we need to exit the page. Yan. Save. So, dito, going back to the welcome page, ilalagay po natin yung link dito, including the file kung nasaan yung logout. Then, gagawa tayo ng word na logout. And I would like this to have a style. Gusto ko mag-float siya papuntang right. Float right. Save na natin. Balik lang ako sa welcome page kanina. Wait, yung welcome page. Balik lang muna ako doon. Yun. So, ito yung form natin. O yung logout rather. So, click ko to. So, babalik ako dito. Okay. Then, login ulit tayo. So, yung ring account. Okay. Ngayon, if I try to log out, supposedly, hindi ko na dapat ma-access yung welcome.php. Unfortunately, we're going to type it here. Na-access pa natin and nagkaroon pa tayo ng error. It is because hindi pa natin nati-check kung nakalagin ba siya o hindi. Kinakailangan kasi yung part na to, yung makaka-access lang is those users na currently logged in. So let's try to fix yung welcome page natin. So sa welcome page, check lang po natin, nakaset ba yung session yung account profile. Nakaset po ba? If nakaset, therefore allowed siyang maka-access sa page na to. Pero if hindi nakaset or not set, okay, then I'm going to redirect the account or this page back to, sabihin natin, login page. So let me try to, I mean sa registration na lang para doon siya mapunta. Baka kasi wala siyang account. So dapat mag-register lang siya muna. Yan. So if we do that and we try to go back to the welcome.php, we try to access it. Yan, bumabalik po dito. So dito tayo, try natin yung welcome.php. Yan, bumabalik doon. Okay, so let's try to log in with different account. Yan, welcome Jude. So ngayon naman, since we're logged in, dapat hindi po natin na-access yung login form kasi nakalagin na po tayo. Okay, so yung next na gagawin naman natin, kopyahin lang natin to, go to the login page, and dito, mali. Let me try to fix this one. Kailangan hindi nasa taas. Mali yung lagay. Okay, yan. So dito, we're going to check naman. Nakaset ba yung account profile? If yes, redirect natin siya papuntang welcome.php. Okay? So, okay. So, try natin ulit. Yan, na-refresh. Bumalik na siya sa yung sa welcome page. Now, if I try to type login.php, babalik pa rin siya dyan. Okay? So, by the way, dito guys, kung napansin ninyo, yung itong doc type nandito sa taas kanina, which is wrong. Kailangan yung start natin dapat nasa topmost siya. Then, kaya nilipat ko yung doc type niya, ayan, dito sa baba. Okay? So, that's the proper way. Okay, so, tingnan natin ulit. Okay na ba? Log out, working. Try tayo mag-register ulit ng sample manager na lang. Email. See, sample. Password is 12345. Save. Okay, login tayo. Having is sample 2345. Then login. Yun. So, nandito na si sample manager. And then, yung password niya is encrypted. Okay, guys? So, I think that's it. So, ganun po yung pag-manage ng simple registration form natin and also having a login form with the use of arrays and of course yung session. Okay po. So, I hope you learned something new today guys regarding our topic and having this coding practice. So, I hope nakapag-practice din kayo and ma-test natin or mas ma-practice yung programming skills natin. Mas mainam yon. So, just like I always say naman, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye for now.